The war between Israel and Hamas has been one of the deadliest in the region in the past century. Today, thousands of people traveled back to where this round of fighting began, the Nova Music Festival that was attacked by Hamas terrorists on October 7th, 2023. Families of those killed or taken hostage returned to the site of their loss today. The song that played as Hamas militants stormed the Nova Music Festival in southern Israel last year was replayed this morning. In an emotional moment for family and friends of those killed and kidnapped, the track was played and then stopped abruptly at the same time as last year. The minute of silence was pierced by a mother's cry. Israeli President Isaac Herzog attended the ceremony, speaking to families of those murdered and walking through the memorial field.
Because this is the last moment we're here. This is where she was killed. So, especially here, we were last week. We were in the grave, but this is the ceremony. This is where she was. This is where she was happy in the last her moments. It was here. Survivors of the attack also returned today to pay tribute.
We've been here a few times since then. It's like live the last moment with them again.
It was 1 year ago today when Hamas fighters attacked southern Israel, starting with a brutal attack on the Nova Music Festival that killed nearly 400 young Israelis, and then saw the terrorist group storm towns and kibbutz villages. Around 1,200 Israelis were killed that day and 250 taken hostage by Hamas. Nearly 100 still remain unaccounted for, including Keith Siegel. His wife Aviva endured 51 days of captivity.
In those 51 days, I was sure that I was forgotten, and they just can't find us because we're underneath the ground. And to think of that kid, a year, that's 7 times more than me, I don't know. I just don't know what kind of kid we're going to get back.
Aviva and other family members of the hostages are urging Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to come to a ceasefire deal with Hamas that brings home their loved ones. The two sides are far from coming to an agreement.
We do know from the 6 hostages that came back a month ago, the conditions were the worst, and that should have woken up the leaders of the world. You cannot allow yourselves to leave human beings underneath the ground to die slowly.
Many family members didn't attend the state ceremony, instead hosting a memorial and protest of their own, saying the government has failed.
To the Israeli government, I say, look, this is how it's supposed to look. It's not about you. It's not about the government. You failed. It's about the families. We will decide how the future looks because we have paid the most unbelievable price on October 7th and after that. And the fact that you failed to get the hostages back, that 27 hostages were murdered in captivity, just goes to show you how big of a failure it is.
Netanyahu, meanwhile, met with U.S. officials today, trying to shore up more support for his military campaign into Gaza and on other fronts.
It was the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust, but unlike the Holocaust, we fight back. And we're fighting like lions.